If you're struggling to survive in DawnCraft or just starting out, I'm going to show you the best early, mid, and late game armors that I found. I'm going to give 2 options kind of per set. So that way if you guys are stuck at one and you can't get it, there's kind of a secondary option. And with that, we're going to the first armor set. That is going to be the Sentinel set. So I kind of put it in here. So Sentinel armor, it's a heavy armor worn by hardened veterans. It gives a 10% chance for the armor to fully block an attack when wearing the full armor set. So for every time an enemy hits you, you'll have an opportunity to block it completely. You hear like a little tinging noise. So if we go look at the Sentinel armor, it's really not too expensive. It's just iron. So with this, especially early game, you'll be able to, even if things break, you'll be able to pretty much replace it. Not too bad. The iron blocks are a little bit expensive, but in general, you can get iron pretty well. So this was like my first armor set that I wanted to get to. Again, it's that 10% chance to block when the full set is on. It just gives you an extra bonus and has +7 armor. So this is the first early game. The second one is a little more expensive to get to, but within DawnCraft, it's not too hard. So we'll look at it. And that is going to be the Paladin helmet, shoes with diamond chest plate, and leggings. So the reason why you want the Paladin helmet and shoes is it actually boosts your health. So at the top, you see the half set bonus. It's +8 max health, so 8 hearts you'll gain from just wearing the set. If you have the set bonus with the helmet, I think you have to have all pieces of the helmet, or you have to have the helmet with the boots, vice versa. You have a chance for absorption for 6 seconds, but the main thing is just that +8 health, and the helmet is a +8 armor, which is, I think, in line even stronger than Netherite, which we can get to, but this is what I went with. Early game, you can get diamonds pretty easily. I have a whole video kind of on easy early game loot. The hardest part with the Paladin helmet, they have a full set, but I'll show you why it's really tough. So you have to get platinum. You can dig down, find platinum. It's not that bad. You do need a Sangua steel, so you need to be able to fight the Blood Madness beasts. You can get these. You can look up the mod and find all the creatures that you can fight. So you got to have one of those for the helmet, and then for the shoes, you're going to need just platinum. So it's not too bad to replace. It might even be easier, a little easier sometimes than the other one. And then you need a steel ingot, which you can see how to craft and things. You just put iron ingot in a blaster or in a blasting furnace and you'll get a steel ingot. So that is my favorite second. And again, this is like a replaceable set. I don't think it's like too expensive to make, too hard to make. And so that's why I went with the diamond with the Paladin. But again, Sentinel goes far. And of course, if you get like an enchanting setup, which we'll talk about later. So that's early game. If you can get these two, you're going to start your game off pretty well, even if armors are breaking or replace them. So now we have the 2 mid game. We have, looks like a Sentinel. It's the Elite Sentinel. So the Elite Sentinel, armor worn, we don't have to get into all that. So it's better than the normal Sentinel. It grants a 20% chance for armor to fully block an attack. Now there's only 2 Elite. It's the chest plate and the helmet, and then you still wear the same leggings and boots. So again, you can switch some of these out, but again, the full set is good. It has a lot of plus, and again, it's only +6 armor for the helmet, but that's where I like the Paladin. So Paladin can sometimes come right into this one, which you'll see later, but this is a great set to get, especially if you start to enchant it, and then to get to the elite level, you'll have to upgrade your last Sentinel, so they kind of lead into each other, which you do need blaze powder. So this one can kind of be a little difficult to get to at times if you don't have access to blaze powder and the netherite scale just to get to this. So it is a great mid game. It can be challenging to gather some of the things. So again, this armor went pretty far for me, especially if you can get into the enchanting a little bit. But the next mid game that we'll look at here is the Avalon armor. And the Avalon armor is really good. You can press F to temporarily regenerate health and gain resistance at the cost of hunger. So if you have like an auto feeder, things like that, the Avalon can like really help you do that. And then to make the Avalon, you will need the Totem of Undying with Avalon's helmet. This is how you make that. It's not too hard to make. 2 steel ingots, a wither skeleton. The Avalon you can get to pretty easily, in my opinion. It sometimes can be a little easier, but again, you're going to have to go down the nether path or like netherites and things like, or nether scale to get to this. So again, if you're going to spend that much, just make sure that you have access to hopefully enchant some of this stuff. And again, it always helps having like mending and things, which we can talk about after we get to the late game. But again, some of these armors kind of cross over. I still, cheapness wise, really like the Paladin with the diamond. But as you get later into the game, there are definitely instances where these armor sets can really benefit you like really well. So now for late game, I have two options here. We'll break the first one. Not going to surprise anybody if they've watched my Let's Plays. This is the Paladin with the Netherite. Now this is one that is a full enchantment item set. Because the one thing with Netherite is that you get 21. One thing with Paladin is you get the 21 enchantment points at the bottom. So you can have a lot more enchantment points. If we go back and look, this one only has 15. This one only has 18. And this one's normal, 19 with the Paladin. And then your first set is 18. So when it comes to fully enchanting, this setup is insane. And again, you don't have to like super grind getting up your health when the Paladin helmet is +8. It also has a +8 armor, which is better than a lot of these past armors. That one's only a +7. This one's a +6. So your Paladin is on the same level as a Netherite chest plate, the helmet. And then your boots are a little weaker, but they have a few things that come with it. But again, it's really just for the benefits of the boost. So this one's done really well for me. But again, you got to get Netherite, armor, chest plate, and leggings. And again, you don't want this stuff to break. So enchanting is good. And we'll talk about that. So the last armor set, and then we'll really get into like how to really make this stuff work for you, is going to be the Havoc armor set. So Havoc, as you can see, equip all 4 pieces at once for great power at a cost. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like here. You're going to gain 5 hunger, 5 slowness, 5 strength, 5 resistance, and 5 fire resistance. So you're going to be a little slower, but you're going to be able to hit harder, resist fire, all those types of things. And that's where Havoc is actually like really beneficial for a lot of that stuff, especially with that strength 2. Doesn't have much enchanting points. So again, I really enjoy the enchanting aspect of playing the game. That's where all these armor sets are great. They have their purposes. They can benefit you in a lot of ways. I always lean this set here. It has the most enchanting points. I have a whole video dedicated to how to create OP armor sets on my channel. So, or weapon sets, armor sets, enchanting in general. But pretty much you're going to want to watch that video. And if you can get to this armor set, you're almost going to be unbeatable. I can 1v1 the Sentinel Knight easily. But there are benefits to some of these other armor sets, especially with the kind of perks that I just mentioned, especially like with the Havoc set. But I'm going with my old reliable here. I wear it in my Let's Plays all the time, and I've really never come close to dying since I've got this set. So that'll do it for this video. I showed you early, mid, and late game. Again, I would really strongly suggest checking out the enchanting table OP armor weapon setup that I created. It's going to help you get these armors to their fullest potential and not just their base stats thing. So again, I like old reliable here with the Nether and the Paladin helmet and leggings. So if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.